If you are an agency owner looking to scale past the 6-figure benchmark, you need to have A players on your team. So in this full guide from A to Z, I'm going to be covering how you get them, where you find them, till the onboarding process, and what is important when you train them. Your company is only as good as your worst employee. So you need to know whom you're employing and which people you want to work with. So if you do exactly what I'm going to be telling you now, you're not going to run into any scammers that will cost you thousands of dollars, because there's quite a lot of them out there, like whole scam agencies that you certainly don't want to run into. So firstly, we're going to take a look at where you find them. So I recommend looking on platforms like OnlineJobs or Upwork. You can also make an advertisement in certain city groups, specialize on which country you want to look in. For example, you want employees in England, you're gonna look for cities in England, ask the owners of city groups, post an advertisement in there, might cost you $50 something, and then you will hit people up. So pretty easy. This is one method, but you can also fully automate the process like I have, for example. You make ads online, Google ads, Instagram ads, depending on what kind of employee you're looking for. If you write a job offer, like in the groups, as I mentioned, online ads, etc., you have to make sure that your job offer, firstly, looks authentic, serious, and that you're an actual company, so that they don't want to work for some freelancer maybe, if they want to look for someone long-term to work with. So make sure you look serious, you have a proper profile there, so you represent your company in the best possible way. So the job offer should include which skills are necessary for the job, what kind of values the employee should have. So let's say you're looking for a chatter, then obviously very important English skills, maybe good typing speed. Also write what kind of setup is important, so laptop, proper internet connection, all those kind of things. Maybe experience in the job that you're looking for. Make sure to put this, all of this in a nice text, so you have a good job offer that represents your company. Very important as well is you should include what you offer. So not only what you want from your employees, also what you give them. 100% remote work, good salary right at the beginning, proper onboarding process, long-term possibility to climb up the career ladder, such stuff. You can include this so you get the most out of the job offer that you plan to post, because you want to make sure the conversion is good and you only attract the people that you actually want to work with. Secondly, once you have a certain amount of leads, for example, you want to make sure that you filter them. So the easiest way not to waste time, because we don't want to hop on an interview with every single one of them, you want to filter them before. I recommend is you do tests with them. Test all the things that you mentioned in the job offer if the person actually has them. So firstly, I will test the IQ, because this is a good way you can filter out already. Of course, the IQ does not always determine how smart a person actually is, and they can cheat, but it's going to be a good indicator of what kind of person you're dealing with. Make up certain situations that you put the employee in, so you want to test how they behave. There are also emotional intelligence tests online, you will find them, I'm sure, but you can create your own, so depending on what you want to hear. Make sure to create a nice test with IQ, EQ. Of course, also the internet speeds are important, especially if you're looking to onboard a chatter, as I said before. Then he needs to have proper internet speed. So internet connection, you can test online, fast.com. They should, you can combine this with a setup test. I like to make them send me a picture of their setup. So laptop, table, they have a proper chair to sit on. You're making sure that they don't sit in some scam call center, for example. They can of course also fake this, but it's very unlikely. So make sure that they, for example, put the test on their screen while taking a picture of their setup. It's a nice method to check all of this at once. And you immediately know what kind of PC they're dealing with, not some, Nokia they're chatting on. So you want to make sure that you have a very good setup for your employee, which you can also invest in. I recommend this in general to invest in the employees, but you want to know what you were dealing with at the start. Those criteria I mentioned before, so the tests, etc., they pass this. Then you still don't want to talk with them, because you might still have a lot of leads left, depending on how many leads you acquired before. I recommend to have a video class to shorten the process. So let's say the people you filtered till now, they are okay. There might be still a lot of scam around that, who knows. So you check what is their ability to learn. So we know the IQ, EQ, their setup, etc. fits, but we want to make sure that you know how they learn. You can test this easily, which they cannot fake, by a video class. So, for example, as a chatter, you will give them a video class that teaches them about all the topics they need to know: objection handling, how to talk to fans, your systems on the accounts, lists, etc., add-ons, create a hero, and so on. So make sure that you include all of this knowledge, the basic knowledge, in a fundamental video class. By the way, I have a free Telegram group where I have such a video class. If you don't want to waste time to create your own, join my free Telegram group, link down below. You can join it and enjoy the free value there. So in this video classes should all the basics be covered, and you make sure that it's like around 1 hour maybe. So all the knowledge that they need to know to start is covered, and then later on in the interviews you can ask them about this video class, which will then test if they actually watched it. After you send them out the video class, which you can also test if they watch it by, I like to include, certain type of emojis they have to send me. Yeah, if you watch till here, send me a elephant emoji, so you can test if they actually watched it or just skip till the end. And then in the interviews, you will talk about it anyway, as I said. So interview, you wanna first get to know them. Some people are always gonna tell you the stuff that you want to hear, like, yeah, my strengths are I'm always on time, loyal, blah, blah. So it's like the basics. They will tell you, they might have a prepared paper, but it's not really about what they tell you. It's more about the way how they tell you this. So you want to pay attention to things like how they talk, how much empathy do they have, like are they able to maintain a conversation, make them ask things. You shouldn't always be the one that leads the conversation there. You always want to make sure that they also lead the conversation. For example, this is what they have to do in their job as a chatter. So if you have this interview, talk with them, pretend to be a cool guy, don't make it too, don't be arrogant, very important. Nobody likes a boss that is gonna pretend he's the king of the world, even though, yes, you are their boss. Be in a very strict way, but also respectful. Because especially people in this industry, if they work for you, they want to feel respected, because you want people that work long term in your company, and you're not gonna maintain them if you're disrespectful. Sad I have to say this, but be respectful and treat your employees right. Once they pass the interviews, we're gonna continue with step 5, which is the training. So at this point, you're only gonna have good people. So you filtered them, you know their setup, etc. You know the way they talk, do they have proper English, etc. You tested all of this. So you have a good amount of people that also understand the basics, as I mentioned before, of the video class. So those people are probably not scammers anymore, because they're not gonna bother, this process takes around, let's say, already 5, 6, 7 days. And depending on how fast you are, obviously, and how much time you give them for the tests. I recommend 12 hours. But so once you have this certain group, you start with training. So you want to make sure that the things they've learned in theory, that they can now show this in a practice. So the practice looks like this. I recommend small groups, depending on how many people you're looking for. But make small groups, 1, 2, 3 people maximum. Then you want to go into one-on-one trainings with them. So each of them has a training session, one-on-one, but as a group. So firstly, you show them how it's done. I recommend that you show them, for example, chatting. You show them how to chat, because then they can see, okay, see and apply, see and apply. This is what they're good at. So show them firstly how it's done properly, and then make them repeat. So the first thing you prove by this is their learning ability. Are they able to replicate stuff that they get shown? You're also going to see how they act with pressure. I like to pressure them a bit in my live trainings. So because you only want people that can maintain a certain stress level while working and then perform still. Make sure to prove this in the live trainings and teach them everything that's necessary. So you will see, okay, the learning curve. The learning curve is something that you have to pay attention to the whole time. Even though they might not be as good at the start with the test that you give them, be patient and check out the learning curve. So they won't learn everything in one training session. So make sure that you have a whole system, step by step. You teach them this task, and then so on. And then you see throughout the process how the learning curve evolves. And this is the way you can see a proper employee, because stupid ones will always stay the same, might be good, but not learning anything else. And then you see the learning curve with the good ones. If they maintain this curve and keep on learning, then okay, those are the ones I want to stick to. And the other ones that don't learn at all, kick them immediately. You don't want to waste time with any employees that don't have a learning curve, because they will just waste the time and stay the same all the time. This whole process of the training you repeat till they are good. So repeat maybe like 10 training sessions, as much as is needed. Depends on how complicated your systems are. Depends on how good the person is. But that's the benefit of good live one-on-one training, because you can really pay attention to one single person, and that's how they learn the best. They only learn and practice, and yes, the stuff that they learned in theory in your video class before, okay, might sound familiar to them in the practice, but they can only put this into their brain once they do it themselves. So make sure live training is the key. Only stick to that till they're good, and then afterwards we move on to the next step, is onboarding. So once they are perfectly trained for the task that you want them to do, onboard them in the right way. So they know the task now, but they have to make sure that they also understand the company processes. Let's say when to start their shift, what kind of reports to fill out, how's the chain of command, so who's in charge of me, who can I ask, am I getting monitored while chatting, for example, who am I talking to, who are my teammates. Onboard them in the right way so there's no questions left, and they can immediately start focusing only on what's important, which is the task in this case. So don't give them unnecessary information. Make sure they only know what's important for them, because at the start everyone is like a bit nervous, etc. So you don't want to waste like their brain energy with unnecessary information. So only give them what they need to know. After that, once they understood all the onboarding, so the time schedules, they know their shifts, etc., then you want to make sure that you do aftercare. So guide them through their first sessions, their first shift, be there for them, take care that they do everything right. Of course, you still don't want to risk any mistakes which happen because of them being nervous. Do aftercare, always ask them, and then you have to maintain this level of feedback. I could recommend feedback every 48 to 72 hours of them, so you give them, hey, this was good, this was bad, please improve it. And if you will maintain this level of feedback, you're going to end up seeing very good results, and you can scale your team and then also your agency, because you need to grow your team if you want to grow your agency. There's no other way than proper employees, A players, and you have to have them nowadays to stand out. If you want to learn more about this and read all my articles, get access, as I said, to my free video class, where I also cover this, that you can easily provide to your virtual assistant, chatters, in general, people that work with you in your agency, to make sure they know the fundamentals that are important. Access my Telegram group, link down below, and ask me anything that comes to your mind. Thank you very much. See you.